The 2024-2025 season for the Oklahoma City Thunder was a season that will forever be remembered in the city and the world, for that matter. The Thunder, through multiple injuries to key players throughout the season, won a franchise record 68 games and eventually took down the Indiana Pacers in 7 games to win the NBA Finals. However, for how dominant the season may look, and really was, fans of the league did not think of this season as dominant, and maybe thought the Thunder were kind of a weak team overall. Today in this video, I will dive into this season for the Oklahoma City Thunder, look at what doubters of the team had to say, and detail what happened in the playoffs for each series. First, let's start with the few struggles the team had throughout the season. The first and main struggle was health. Former second overall pick and starting big Chet Holmgren fractured his hip in a game against the Golden State Warriors on November 10th. Chet would be sidelined and wouldn't return to the team until February 7th, albeit still limited during this time. During this period, off-season signing Isaiah Hartenstein was also injured, not making his Thunder debut until November 20th, around 10 days after Chet was injured. During this time, the team had no true center, leaving all-star Jalen Williams, former 12th overall pick in the 2022 NBA draft, to fulfill the role. Later in that season, J-Dub, or Jalen Williams, also suffered an injury, leaving the star sidelined for 2 weeks in mid-March, the most important time of the season. The one consistent thing throughout the season, however, was superstar, now MVP, now finals MVP, and now supermax contract getter, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Throughout the season, SGA averaged 32.7 points per game, 6.4 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. Shai scored 54 times throughout the season, with this season being the only time in his career that he has scored 50. Now, let's touch on one thing doubters said about this team, and specifically Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Fans on social media and Doris Burke consistently called him a free throw merchant due to his high free throw rates throughout the season, and his common exaggeration in order to get more and more calls. Fans also said that his game would not translate to the playoffs, since the game is called tighter during this time. Not only did SGA's games translate, he dominated throughout the playoffs. But we'll get into that later. Apart from Shai's dominance, the team had two main things going for them to make them one of the most dominant teams in NBA history. These two things are the immense depth of the squad and the suffocating defense the team played as a whole. The Thunder defense led the NBA in defensive rating, stocks, which are blocks and steals combined, led the NBA in deflections, forced 18.2 turnovers per game in the playoffs, did not turn the ball over more than their opponent all regular season, and had a stretch of not allowing a 30-point score throughout the season until about mid-February, and did not allow a 40-point score the entirety of the regular season. The Thunder's depth also proved to be a vital component of the Thunder's dominance. For example, in Game 4 of the conference semifinals against the Nuggets, the Thunder outscored the Nuggets 29-18 in the fourth quarter to avoid going down 3-1 in the series, potentially ending their season. The comeback was not started by MVP SGA, J-Dub, or Chet, but rather LeGuin Stort, who hit 3 massive threes, Aaron Wiggins, who also hit massive threes, Alex Caruso, and Cason Wallace. Without the performance of these role players in that game, the Thunder are likely knocked out of the round by the Nuggets. Now that we've established the struggles and strengths of the Thunder, let's dive into the NBA playoffs. To open the playoffs, the Thunder matched up with the Memphis Grizzlies. Game 1 was an absolute blowout, with the Thunder winning 131-80, controlling the game from the tip-off. I'm not going to touch on this game much at all, because of the blowout and how much it really set the tone for the series, but the series was 1-8. Game 2 was another highly controlled game by the Thunder. Game 3, however, flipped the script of the series completely. The Grizzlies came out firing, being up by 29 points in the first half, until John Morant exited the game with an injury. After this injury, the Thunder slowly chipped to the lead, cutting the once 26-point halftime deficit to 8 by the end of the third quarter. The Thunder then outscored the Grizzlies by 14 in the fourth, solidifying the game and the series, going up 3-0. With Ja Morant ruled out for Game 4, the series seemed all but over going into Game 4. But the game was the closest of the series based on final score. The Thunder won 117-115, with no team winning a quarter by more than 3 points. Close or not, the Thunder won and the Thunder advanced to the conference semifinals for the second straight year. Going into the second round, the Thunder had a long break of 9 days between the two series. The Thunder also were faced with their past demons, losing to the eventual Western Conference champion Dallas Mavericks in the 2024 playoffs in the second round. In Game 1, Nikola Jokic had an all-time playoff performance, ending the game with 42 points and 22 rebounds. Yet the Thunder still were up 9 with 3 minutes to go. Suddenly, with 10 seconds left, the lead was cut to 1 with Chet Holmgren heading the line for 2 free throws. Chet ended up missing both free throws, leading to Aaron Gordon hitting a fast break game-winning 3 to steal Game 1 in OKC for the Nuggets. This left the Thunder with an absolute must-win in Game 2, to avoid dropping the first 2 games at home and going down 2-0. In Game 2, the Thunder responded with absolute authority, ending the first quarter up 24 and never relinquishing that lead, winning by a final score of 149-106. In a huge Game 3, headlined by a 34-point J-Dub game, the Thunder traveled to Denver to try and take a 2-1 lead. With 1:11 left, Shai put the Thunder up 3, and eventually had the ball with 40 seconds left, up 3 with the chance to ice the game for the team. Shai missed a fadeaway mid-range, and Chet lost track of Aaron Gordon in the corner, letting up a game-tying 3, forcing overtime. In OT, the Nuggets took absolute control, winning 113-104 and going up 2-1 on the Thunder. In Game 4, the Thunder faced yet another must-win game to continue their season. The Nuggets took a 6-point lead heading into the fourth quarter, ending the third on a huge run, taking all momentum in the game. The bench players of the Thunder took control of the fourth, starting a 21-7 run to give the Thunder the lead, and ended up taking the game 92-87, taking back home court, and led the Thunder 2 wins away from going back to the Western Conference Finals. The decisive Game 5 was another hard-fought game down to the wire. With 1:40 left, Jokic hit a one-footed fadeaway 3 to tie the game at 103. On the following possession, J-Dub was found in the corner with a one more pass from Lou Dort to hit a huge game-icing 3, yelling at his right wrist in celebration afterwards. More on that later. The Thunder contained the Nuggets for the rest of the fourth quarter, winning 112-105, being 1 win away from the franchise's first conference finals since 2016. In Game 6, the Thunder started out fast, going up 12 late in the second quarter. However, out of halftime, the Nuggets fought for their lives, took control, and went up 16 with 5 left in the fourth, winning the game 119-107, forcing a Game 7 in OKC. In Game 7, the young Thunder faced the experienced Nuggets, who had just won a Game 7 in their previous series. This left fans and media undecided on who's going to win this decisive Game 7. In the first quarter, the Nuggets came out strong, ending up 5 to end the first quarter. The Thunder came out of the first and went on a massive run late in the second quarter, outscoring the Nuggets 39-20, going up 14 into half. The Thunder continued their dominance in the third, outscoring the Nuggets by 11 and 7 in the third and fourth quarter, sending the franchise to the first conference finals in 9 years. 2 days after Game 7, the Thunder were set to face division rival, the Minnesota Timberwolves, in what was expected to be another series that would go the distance. The two teams split 4 games in the regular season, with multiple comments from the Timberwolves regarding the Thunder and their luck with foul calls. In Game 1, the Timberwolves came out faster than the Thunder, leading by 4 at halftime. Coming out of half, late in the third quarter, the Thunder had a Thunder Avalanche, as Mike Breen called them, outscoring the Timberwolves by 10 points in the last 5 minutes of the third, going into the fourth up 10. The Avalanche didn't stop there, however. The Thunder outscored the Timberwolves by 16 in the fourth, winning 114-88. Following the game, the main thing being talked about online wasn't the Thunder's dominance, but rather the off nights from Anthony Edwards, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, and Naz Reid, who combined for 30 points as a trio. The Timberwolves also shot 29.4% from three and 35% from the field in total, another major talking point after the game. Following Game 1, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was named NBA MVP for the first time in his career, blowing out Nikola Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo in voting. Game 2 was a close resemblance to Game 1, with the Thunder having control for most of the game, especially the second half. The Thunder outscored the Timberwolves by 14 in the third, giving the Thunder a 22-point lead heading into the fourth. SGA ended with 38 points, and the Thunder headed to Minnesota up 2-0, 2 wins away from the NBA Finals.
Wiggins kicks it out. Lou Dort.
He
might have the highest arc on the three in the league.
Absolute dominance by the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Thunder outscored the Thunder by 20 in the first quarter and 11 in the second.
Anthony Edwards from way downtown.
The Thunder ended up winning 143-101, saving their season and
spin move, Wiggins.
In a massive Game 4, with momentum of the series and the season hanging in the balance, the Timberwolves role players had one of their best games of this playoffs, with Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Dante DiVincenzo, and Jaden McDaniels combining for 66 points. However, there were 2 major problems for the Wolves. Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle didn't show up. Anthony Edwards shot 5 for 13. Yes, he only shot 13 times and scored 16 points. Julius Randle didn't help either, scoring 5 points. On the other side, Shai and J-Dub came to play, with Shai putting up 40, 9, and 10, and J-Dub scoring 34, and hitting 2 massive threes to give the Thunder a solidified lead late in the fourth. However, with 20 seconds left, the Timberwolves cut the lead to 2, and the 2 teams played the foul game. With 4 seconds left, Anthony Edwards was fouled down 3, made the first free throw, missed the second, and the ball was thrown out of bounds with 0.6 seconds left. The Timberwolves' lob was intercepted, and the Thunder went back to OKC with a 3-1 series lead, 1 win away from the NBA Finals. With the Thunder 1 win away from the NBA Finals, they came out to Game 5 and started absolutely dominating, holding the Wolves to 9 points in the first, and ending up 17. The Wolves look defeated, looking like they were ready to go home. This continued, and the dominance in the second quarter was just as much, outscoring the Timberwolves by 16. Fans and players could feel the finals in their grasp. Shai ended up scoring 34 and helped send the Thunder to the finals for the first time since 2012. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was named Western Conference Finals MVP, and now the team was 4 wins away from their first championship since moving to Oklahoma City. Entering the NBA Finals, the Thunder were heavily favored against the Cinderella team, Indiana Pacers, who had made their run off comebacks late in games. The Thunder had a reasonable control of the game in the fourth, going up 15 with 9:42 left, even going up 9 with 2:52 left in the game as well. However, the Pacers did what the Pacers did all postseason, chipping the lead down more and more to finish the game. With 10 seconds left, MVP SGA missed a fadeaway that would have iced the game, with Pacers superstar Tyrese Haliburton getting the ball, pushing it in transition, and hitting a game-winning 2 to steal Game 1 for the Indiana Pacers. In Game 2, the Thunder entered what could be argued to be an absolute must-win to avoid losing the first 2 home games. The Thunder controlled most of the game, going up 18 at half. However, even with the big lead, fans and players could not sit comfortably on the lead, as the Pacers always had the possibility to do exactly what they did the game prior, and what they had done all postseason, come back from leads. This time, however, there was no comeback. and the Thunder tied the series at 1 apiece with a final score of 123-107. In Game 3, the Pacers out-thundered the Thunder. For only the second time all season, the Thunder finished with more turnovers than the other team. And behind a 27-point effort from Benedict Mathurin, with most coming in the fourth quarter, the Pacers took Game 3, 116-107, with still 2 games in the series to go in Indiana. This left Game 4 is an absolute must-win for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Throughout Game 4, it looked like the series was going to end after this game. The Thunder were down 7 going into the fourth quarter, with the Pacers having every piece of momentum going into the quarter. The Pacers kept the momentum to begin the fourth, but the Thunder kept fighting, tying the game 89 with 8 to go, and continuing to fight from behind until Shai hits a step-back mid-range in the left corner, putting the Thunder up 1 with 2:33 to go. The Thunder did not let up, and the lead was never relinquished, ending up winning 111-104, with Shai finishing with 35 points, along with 20 from Alex Caruso and 27 from Jalen Williams. The Thunder had now took back home court advantage and just needed to win 2 of the next 3 games to end up becoming NBA champions. Game 5 was a masterclass for the duo of Shai and J-Dub, with J-Dub finishing with 40 points and Shai finishing with 31. Pacers superstar Tyrese Haliburton did not have as good of a game, ending with 4 points and not a single field goal. Even with Haliburton's struggles, Pascal Siakam carried the load, putting up 28 points alongside 18 points from backup point guard TJ McConnell. During the game, Haliburton injured his calf, likely hindering his performance throughout the game, and led to many counting out the Pacers for not just this game, but the rest of the series. The Thunder ended up winning and were 1 game away from winning the championship. Even with the Thunder being 1 game away, everyone knew the Pacers weren't going to roll over. And even with Tyrese Haliburton's injury, they knew they weren't going to roll over. This was the absolute truth, with the Pacers absolutely dominating through 3 quarters, being up 30 going into the fourth. The Pacers ended up winning 108-91, with the Thunder's bench cutting the lead in the fourth. But nevertheless, both teams were able to rest their starters going into Game 7. Advantage Indiana, since they were allowed to rest Haliburton's calf ahead of the season-deciding game. This was the first Game 7 in the NBA Finals since the all-time classic in 2016 between the Cleveland Cavaliers and Golden State Warriors. And the matchup between OKC and Indiana looked like it could live up to the same hype. However, midway through the first quarter, with Tyrese Haliburton lighting the game up from 3 to start, he exploded off his injured leg and collapsed to the floor, and ended up tearing his Achilles. The vibe of the game was hurt greatly, but the Pacers never backed down. In fact, going into halftime, the Pacers led the Thunder by 1 point, a shocking result with their star player going out with an injury. In the third quarter, the Thunder outscored the Pacers by 14, with almost all of the Pacers' offense coming from backup point guard TJ McConnell, a big storyline throughout the series. With the story of the Pacers' postseason, the Thunder couldn't afford to get comfortable. Even with a big lead, the Pacers could always still come back. However, the Thunder went up 22, with 7:41 to go in the game, and fans could taste the championship. The Pacers kept chipping, cutting the lead to 10 with 2:32 to go, but the Thunder were able to keep the lead to double digits. And as time ticked down more and more, the feeling got more and more real. Finally, the Thunder were NBA champions, winning Game 7 103-91. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was crowned Finals MVP, becoming the first player in NBA history to win MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP, Finals MVP, and the scoring title all in the same season. Following the season, it was announced that Jalen Williams was undergoing surgery for a torn wrist ligament that he suffered on April 9th, way back before the postseason even began. This explained why he was seen screaming at his wrist after his big shot in Game 5 of the Nuggets series. The offseason has also been a very busy time for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder traded Dillon Jones to dump a roster spot to the Washington Wizards, but then focused on re-signing their guys. Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and SGA, all on massive deals, keeping the big three together for the rest of the decade. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, please, if you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you like to. You know, that's up to you. Anything helps. This is my first basketball video I've done, and there's a little theme on my channel. I do my favorite teams. I'm trying to branch out and do other teams, but you know, my favorite team won a championship, and I wanted to do a video off of that, so I had to do this. Probably the next video will be NFL predictions, but there may be a video I sneak in there between. But thank you guys for watching the entirety of this video if you made it this far, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.